Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. I have the honor today of having Rice Crypto with me. Rice, good to see you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
So, full disclosure, Rice and I kind of connected. I'm going to take a guess and say last year, 2018, maybe summer, and we were going back and forth on our schedules and this and that. And I sent him a message the other day. And I'm like, dude, we got to get back on it. And he's like, yeah, cool. So, anyhow, um, we talked a little bit in the pre interview how I went to your Twitter page, which I
Mhm.
love. And I'll put that in the link below. Tell everybody um, one of your like the picture behind you in the on your Twitter account, Rice says the change by practicing change. I love
Well,
that.
yeah, I really love that too, and I jacked that whole thing from Gandhi, but and the quote is "Be the change by practicing change,"
Oh,
and
okay.
so I used the Bitcoin logo for the B, which throws some people off, but it works with "Be the change" for Bitcoin with the Bitcoin
Okay.
logo. So the reason why I had that up is because I talk about something called practice change.
Okay.
And practice change is where I try to encourage people, myself, others, to be the change that they want to see in the world.
Mm,
And the reason why this is important to me is because I feel like the world's coming to a place where we have an opportunity for change. I'm involved in cryptocurrency like yourself, and I look at these technologies as being disruptive
mm,
technologies. They're going to be
mm-hmm.
able to help us to be able to change certain aspects of the world, but it's mainly like technological aspects and things to that effect. It's not talking about changing who we are as people. And if we don't change who
Mm,
we are as people, we're going to continue to have the same problems that we've been having throughout humanity. So this is our chance to be able to change literally every aspect. And by me trying to be the change that I want to see in this world, hopefully I can inspire other people. And hopefully other people that are trying to be the change can do the same thing. So I kind of see these all kind of correlating.
okay.
That makes sense.
So I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but a lot of people like to moan and complain about the way things are. You're saying, hey, if you want to see change, let it start with me first, huh?
Yeah, because that is the problem I think today. Without trying to judge people, is I think a lot of people complain about things that they don't like, and instead of complaining, do something about it. Because nothing's going to change if you don't try to change things,
Yeah.
unless you're just happy being miserable and you like to complain. If that's the life that you want to live, you're free to do that. Because I'm a voluntarist, and I believe that we have a right to live the way that we want to live.
Yeah. So when did this I'll just say when did this message, Rice, kind of come from inside you, kind of like out to the public, like, or were you like this as like a little guy, like a younger guy, like in your,
Absolutely not. No, I mean,
okay,
not that I have a terrible history, but I've done things that I'm not proud of.
sure,
And as I've gotten older and wiser and learned things and learned from mistakes, there's been plenty of times in my life where I've tried to change aspects of who I was, but I wasn't being held accountable to anybody except for myself.
okay,
And sometimes it's hard to admit things, but it's hard for even me to be accountable to myself.
yeah,
So by me going public with this practice change thing, which is something that I did before I even started my YouTube channel. So this is even prior to the crypto stuff. It was me making a public statement that I have to now uphold.
mm,
So I have to do these things because I'm publicly talking about it. I have to walk the walk if I'm going to talk the talk. So
wow,
by me announcing it publicly and talking about it publicly, it gives me something to be accountable to.
wow, that's cool, man. So again, these are just like super simple questions, but
Yeah.
I love your answers. So what would that look like, Rice? What would that look like kind of in your daily life, either day to day or week to week or month to month? Like if someone's just watching and hearing you for the first time, and they're like, oh, practice change. I like that. Like, how do I do that? Like, what would you tell somebody?
Well, everybody's different. We're all individuals, so this process isn't a process that I can tell you how to do. It's just something that you have to take some of the ideas that people like myself are trying to do and incorporate them in your life, because it's what works for you. How it started for me and what gave me the opportunity to wake up and think about this was having what people call an attitude for gratitude. So I would wake up and think about things that I was thankful for in my life so I can set my tone of my day.
Wow. Okay.
And then I would meditate and try to think about those things and try to resonate with that. And then throughout encounters that I have with just other people, sometimes I see somebody who might slightly make me angry and I might think something negative about them. And then because I'm thinking about practice change a lot, I'm thinking, well, why am I judging this person? Like, why am I saying anything negative even in my mind about this person? I have no idea what this person was through, what they went through, what kind of interactions they had prior to me. So it's not my place to try to get insulted. Now, this is not obviously things that you can just do on the whim. It takes practice. And I got the term from Buddhism. A person who follows the teachings of Buddha calls themselves a practicing Buddhist. Because to be a Buddhist, you would have to obtain that perfectness, that nirvana. So we're going to make mistakes, and I try not to be defined by my mistakes, and I try not to let my mistakes hinder me. But it's all part of practicing, because every day you get to wake up and try something new, try what worked for you, try new things.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad, if I could say it like that, I'm glad that you said, like, it's not, I mean, you didn't quite say this, I'm sort of paraphrasing, but it's not like a one size fits all. It's kind of, everybody's unique, everybody's different, everybody's got different, past and present. So it's kind of like the person, if I could say it like this, and tell me if this is wrong, the person needs to kind of decide and define what that's going to look like in their life, maybe.
Exactly. I mean, this is a philosophy. It's not like I'm a guru or a self-help teacher and I'm trying to start a course or something like that. It's just a movement. It's just me wanting to be the change that I want to see in this world and encouraging others. And since I'm, have my own YouTube channel and using social media and I'm involved in cryptocurrencies, it gives me an opportunity to be able to spread this message along with the cryptocurrency stuff that I talk about and the anarchy and voluntarism talk that I also talk about as well.
Yeah, talk about, and full disclosure, I don't know a whole lot about this, so I'm learning from you. Even though I'm asking you questions, believe me,
Okay.
I'm learning. When you say anarchy, I mean technically, I kind of know the Webster's dictionary definition, but what does that mean, and how does that like when you put like your quote unquote like your glasses on every day, like when you get out of bed, what does that look like to you?
I'm a sovereign individual. I answer to myself. I don't believe in authority, and that's what I believe. That's what the
Okay.
definition of anarchy is: just
Okay.
no authority, no king, no rulership.
Okay.
You're a sovereign individual. The unfortunate problem is you have like our media and schools that teach the word in a negative connotation and make you think of it as like whenever there's a shooting in Las Vegas, it's anarchy. But that's not the correct terminology. That would just be chaos.
Interesting. Okay.
And
Wow.
it comes from other root words, but it just basically means no rulership. And I just don't believe in being told what I should and shouldn't be able to do. I believe that we have rights as human beings, natural rights, natural law. These are things that people can look up. Natural law is an important aspect of a lot of the things that I believe in. There's a guy named Mark Passio
Okay.
that's on YouTube and other social media outlets that talks about natural law in a great in-depth seminar that I encourage people to check out. So these are things that I think not all people who are involved in cryptocurrency, but a majority of people I think that are involved, especially in the early days of crypto, have these type of anarchist beliefs.
Interesting. Again, I don't want to get well, I don't even know if this is off the subject, but I don't know why this just came to my mind. I saw a video, oh gosh, 3, 4 months ago, Rice, something like that, and it was Jeff Berwick, and
Hmm.
he was talking about, I don't even know how to say it. He was talking about being a citizen of like another country or something. Um,
Yeah, he's actually
what is
an
that called?
ambassador for Lieberland.
There you go. Do you know
And
anything about that?
yeah,
Like,
Lieberland. I'm not an expert on the whole entire situation, but I
sure.
believe there was some unclaimed land somewhere between like Serbia and Croatia, I believe, and
Okay.
neither country could claim the land.
Okay.
So these people just decided they were going to go ahead and take it and start their own country, and they've been working with the United Nations. It's basically a voluntarist society, and what I mean by that is nothing is forced. Like here in the United States, we're forced to pay taxes. If we don't pay taxes, we go to jail. So that's being forced to do something. In a voluntaristic society, you would not be forced to do anything. Now, there is obviously going to be um, incentives and benefits for you doing these things, but it's an interesting concept that I encourage people to look up. I don't want to tell people how these lifestyles are
Right.
because I want
Yeah.
people because there's a lot of different people who kind of look at these things a little bit differently. But as far as anarchy is concerned, it's definitely without rulership, and
Okay.
voluntarism is without force.
Okay. Another question. Sometimes like you've heard the expression, what came first, the chicken or the egg or whatever. So what came first, your YouTube channel or your Twitter page?
The YouTube channel, actually, and I was really against the stuff like Twitter and Instagram and all that, but I ended up just having to start it because it's part of the deal. So if you want to be able to have your content to be able to be heard, and I don't say this from an egotistical standpoint. I just try to share some information. I would like for people to check it out. But if I was just to make videos and post it, very very few people would watch it. So I had to get involved in the social media marketing aspect of it, and getting involved in the community, which on Twitter is an awesome community. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube personalities, a lot of content creators are on there, and a lot of other individuals. And I've met a lot of great people because of it. Speaking of that, I met Josh Sigurdsson and became a contributor with World Alternative Media. I've had a
Wow.
chance to interview John McAfee a couple times.
I saw that a couple days after I got a hold of you. Way to go. Yeah.
So I definitely encourage people to check it out on World Alternative Media. My two interviews with John McAfee. The one I just did was this past Friday, and it's about 12 minutes long, the entire interview, but it it has a solid punch to it. He says a lot of crazy, good, wise things that people need to hear.
Okay. Was he on his, I mean, I follow him a little bit on Twitter, to be honest with you. Was he on his boat when you did the
Yeah,
interview?
yeah. In case your viewers don't know, he's right now he's in exile in the Bahamas on an island called Exuma,
Oh.
and he's doing this because he's being indicted by the IRS. Him and his wife and two other people who work with John.
Hmm.
So to avoid being arrested, he decided he would leave the United States and run this presidential campaign in exile. But he also says that if he was to be elected, which he doesn't plan to be, he just wants to get his voice heard because one of his platforms is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. But he does say once he's elected or once the election's over, he'll turn himself in. So,
Wow.
but yeah, he's on this boat. And he's actually inviting people out. So if anybody's a McAfee fan and wants to help support his presidential campaign run for 2020, and you're willing to pay for yourself, you can go to the island of Exuma and hang out with John and Janice and help out with the campaign. He's looking for a lot of contributors.
Yeah, they seem, again, what do I know? But they seem like,
They're cool people. They really
yeah,
are.
I mean, I
A
was
lot of
just going to
people
say,
talk crap about McAfee. I mean, he's got a crazy past, and I'm not like in love with the man, and I don't agree with everything he says. But he's an interesting character, and it's a really cool time to be able to talk to him, especially one on one.
yeah, his wife, Janice, like, there was a few times on Twitter in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 months where she joined the the discussion. I don't even know how you say it, and kind of said a few things to me that were super nice. I'm like, oh, she actually reads this stuff,
Hmm.
you know. And
Yeah,
that,
so does John. I mean, they're incredibly involved in it. I mean, they see the value of of how Twitter is and social media, and they see the value of the community. So they embrace the community, which I think is great.
yeah, I did an interview with Amina Motala. It's a lady up in Canada.
I know. I mean,
Okay, I'm starting to get to know her, and
she's awesome people.
it was crazy because she said, "Oh gosh, when did I do the interview? Let's just say a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago." She said the same thing you did. You know, real nice people. Janice was real nice, and they did like a 35-minute recording, and they
Yeah,
each,
she interviewed both of them actually, which was one of the first
yeah,
times that had happened, and Janice was super excited, and John really liked the idea. So kudos to Amina for doing
yeah.
it.
Well, she said during the interview that I did with her, Rice, that I'm just going to pick a number. They did a 35-minute video, and she didn't hit the record button or something, so they
Yeah.
totally lost it. And then John said, or then she communicated somehow to them, hey, you know what? I did something goofy, or maybe John was supposed to record. Anyhow, they redid the interview, and she said that they were, again, sweet, kind, down to earth, and, you know, so how did you reach out to them, if I could ask? Was it just on Twitter?
Well, I'm in an influencer. Well, they call it I hate the word
Yeah.
influencer, but an influencer group, content creator group, with some other content creators, and somebody had added in Jimmy Watson, who used to be the CEO for the McAfee company for his
Mm.
private stuff, and he's since has stepped down. He's had some health problems, but Jimmy got me in touch with Janice and just kind of went from there.
Oh,
And I
cool.
got Janice's email, phone number. I got John's email.
Oh, that's great.
The second interview, I reached out to John directly and scheduled an interview with him, and he missed the interview because Janice is kind of his handler.
Oh,
So she makes sure he does stuff. She had to step out. So she hit me up later that afternoon apologizing and rescheduled it for 2 days later and made sure John was there. So it was really cool.
that's cool. So during the, I don't know, I guess it's like the pre-interview when we talked a little bit before we started to record, did you say that you haven't been as active with content lately, but you want to kind of start rolling some stuff out here?
That's exactly what's happening. I've been working a lot. I've been going through a lot of stuff over the past 5 6 months, so I haven't been
Sure.
able to put out content as regularly. So I have put out content, but not as consistently as I would like to. So starting this weekend, I'm actually getting ready to do some stuff. This afternoon, I'm going to be recording a video, and then this weekend, I got some stuff that I'm going to be recording and trying to put out stuff at least every other day. I've got a
Cool.
lot of interviews that I need to get set up with a lot of people who have agreed.
Yeah.
So whether it's going to be for Ward Alternative Media or if it's going to be for my channel, I'm still just reaching out to different people because I've got a lot of really interesting guests that I'll be bringing on.
And also, I'm going to say this for the record before I forget. I'm going to put Rice Crypto's all of the content, all of his information below his YouTube and Twitter. Not just, I guess at the beginning I said Twitter. Um, so let's change gears a little bit.
Yeah.
How and when, what year, not maybe the exact month or day, did you kind of start to notice cryptocurrency? Like, how did you all, what's your story, Rice, about how you got involved with cryptocurrency?
Well, I mean, I've heard about crypto, Bitcoin back years ago, probably like 2012, with the dark web
Wow,
and
okay.
people buying illegal things and things of that nature. Not that I had participated in anything like that, but that was my first introduction to it.
Wow.
And then I started going to school a couple of years ago for business administration,
Okay.
and um, I just never really thought much more about Bitcoin, and it was studying more about economics and learning more about the history of money and how the Federal Reserve works, how fractional banking works. All these things kind of made me look at the world a little bit differently.
Wow.
And when I had to do a paper at school on an innovative technology, and I was going to do it on blockchain, but it was supposed to be a 7 to 8 minute presentation, and I didn't feel like I could do a 7 to 8 minute presentation on blockchain and give it justice. So I did it on another subject. But
Okay.
I kept watching Bitcoin, and this would be probably late 2016, and finally, I think it was April of 2017 is when I first bought my first Bitcoin,
Wow.
my first portion of Bitcoin, not a full Bitcoin. And the
Sure.
price then was around the $2,500 price mark, I think.
Okay.
So, I got to see the price go almost to $20,000 and now drop back down to the $4,000 markish, and still don't know what's happening with it right now, but I'm a believer in the technology.
Right.
I'm not in
Yeah.
this game necessarily to get rich.
Right.
I do swing trade, and I do try to accumulate more crypto, but again, I look at it as like my way out because I'm betting against the US dollar.
Yeah. So I always ask people this. So in your sphere of influence, like the people that you hang out with, et cetera, do they have they heard anything about cryptocurrency, or are they kind of tracking with you, or do you like not even bring it up in conversations?
Well, I mean, when I first got involved in it, I was really trying to get everybody I knew involved, and that just kind of gets old to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I don't try to make every single conversation about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency.
Right. Sure.
There's a lot of other things to talk about, but I definitely put it out there, and let people know. People know that are my friends and family know about my YouTube channel and know that I try to do some consulting. Not a financial advisor kind of consulting, but more of tech support, being able to help people get set up the wallets the right way, understand what passwords and private keys are, public keys, the difference between all these things, and security, how to use 2FAs. So
Well,
I got a lot of friends who ask me to help out with things like that, which I definitely do my best to try to get people started. But I do not give any kind of financial advice.
sure. Okay. Well, this is good, right? So let's kind of camp out here for a little bit, because I think what you just said is important, and a lot of people need to know that this is one of an on ramp if they want to get in touch with you. So what I say in my world, say what you just said a different way. So you do consulting if people want to know, hey, I got a Trezor, how do I set it up? Just kind of slow down what you said, because I want to make sure that people understand what a
Like
deep.
tech support consulting. If you go to Best Buy and they have their Geek Squad,
Okay.
kind of like a Geek Squad for crypto, where I explain to people the differences between what Coinbase is versus like an Exodus wallet or a blockchain wallet,
Cool.
because Coinbase is an exchange and not an actual wallet. You don't possess your private keys. So I try to let people know the differences with those,
Okay.
and then how to secure your stuff, how to make sure you're writing down your 12 word
Yeah.
recovery passphrase, or whatever the situation might be with whatever we're dealing with, how to get set up on an exchange, how to do your KYC. Because
So
there's a lot of older people who just aren't tech savvy.
yeah. So if people want to know more about that, Rice, how do they get a hold of you?
People can email me at ricecrypto@gmail.com. And then I'm also on Facebook, and you can just search for Chris Rice Crypto.
So the email ricecrypto@gmail.com.
hmm Yeah, I'm working on a website to get everything kind of centralized. I'm kind of scattered all over the place. I'm on Steemit, DTube, DLive. I'm on Instagram, Twitter. I use all different sorts of avenues to be able to promote.
Okay. So I had a good experience, or maybe that's kind of the wrong way to say it. I met, yeah, right, in my mind, Ken Bozak, and I know that you're friends with him.
Oh, we're family, man. That's my brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was in Where did he just get back from? Hong
Hong
Kong.
Kong.
Okay. Did you go or was it just him?
No, it's just him. I can't get a passport.
Okay.
The United
Okay.
States
Okay.
government won't allow me to get a passport, so I can't leave the country right now.
Okay. So I'm not asking for you to tell me where he lives, but he's not in your area, correct?
Well, we're both on the East Coast. I'm in North Carolina. I'm in
Oh,
Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He's up in the New York, New Jersey area near Philly.
oh. You know
Yeah,
where I thought he was
not
from?
putting him on blast, but I mean, most people know he's from. If you just listen to his accent, you can tell he's a Jersey boy or
Yeah.
Philly boy,
Oh my gosh, for some reason
Philly
I
boy.
I thought he lived in Colorado.
Mm-mm.
I don't
No,
know
but
why.
he just travels a lot. I mean, obviously, like last year, he did so much traveling. I think Bitcoin Ben is now trying to travel more than what Ken did last year, and they might be kind of going neck and neck. But Ken was all over the place last year. I mean, me and him, we started because I started my channel last January, and we started working together not too long after that, and bringing on some other people with the show called Last Week in Crypto Tonight.
Okay.
And then we made an appearance at what was called the Crypto Shit Show, that was renamed Integrity, and we were in Philadelphia, we were in Denver, Colorado, and then we went to Las Vegas.
Okay.
Las Vegas was cool because that's when we got to hang out with Fluffy Pony, and Fluffy Pony paid for Ken to get a Monero tattoo, so we went to the tattoo studio at the
Okay. I
hotel in
kind of
Las
remember
Vegas.
that a little bit.
And Fluffy Ricardo, he's a really cool guy. This is one of the developers on Monero, part of the Magical Crypto Friends with Charlie Lee and Samson Mao and Well Panda. So you know,
Wow. Yeah.
everybody in the community is just real down to earth. And when anybody meets someone like Ken, Ken is Ken's a unique individual. So I mean, he brings out smiles out of most everybody. So it's great.
Interesting. Well, speaking of Ken, or I guess I brought Ken up. Speaking of Ken, and again, I just want to let people know that you're not a one-dimensional guy. Like last year, like I'm going to say in the summer maybe,
Mhm.
I saw you, I saw Ken, and another gentleman that I believe was from Canada doing like a live stream or something. What was that? And was that Ken's channel or were you recording for you or what was that, Rice?
Most of the time, we're recording on his stuff because his audience is bigger. I mean, I do videos and post on my stuff.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you would have saw something at like one of the Integrity events, or me and Ken, because we both take advantage of medical recreational marijuana, and we've done a couple live streams where we smoke and talk crypto and talk to other people. So we've done all kinds of stuff together.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I got a hold of him again, probably the same way, or not the exact same way that you with, the McAfees. I just reached out to him. I had a common friend that actually met him in Hong Kong. So I think my friend said something like, hey, Crypto Man or whatever, 99. So I sent Ken a direct message and I said, hey, would you, possibly want to do an interview? And he said, sure, bro. Now, is that something, again, I don't know that much about him and I'm not expecting you to tell me everything about him now, but is that his tagline that he's, because I call a lot of
Bro,
people,
bro, bro is his tagline.
bro.
Yeah, bro. How
Okay,
goes it? I'm Kim Bozak. I'm here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories.
okay,
Yeah, no, he's a really down to earth guy, and he likes to put out content. He likes to give everybody an opportunity to speak. And if you go to his Twitter page, he's actually, I think it might be his pinned post, but he actually allows people just to schedule. He does, I think he calls it streaming with strangers, and anybody can schedule time to go on Ken Bozak's YouTube channel and talk to Ken for about an hour. He's up for, and so companies within the crypto space will come on, other content creators, just anybody who's trying to get their information out or just wants to have a good
wow,
conversation. So anybody can set up some time. Ken's a real down to earth dude, and lately, since he hasn't been traveling as much, he's just been putting out content out the wazoo. The only time since I think it was since December, the only thing he's done is Hong Kong. So he's been putting out content like crazy.
Okay.
My boy's putting out a lot of content, so it's been making me feel like I've been incredibly lazy, even though I've had other things
Sure.
keeping me from doing the content.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're coming up on 42 minutes here. If you, I always
Wow.
give the, I know it always goes fast. I always like to give the person that I'm, speaking with kind of like the last word, I call it. So, Rice, if there's anything that you would want to leave the listeners either about you or, again, don't be bashful, your YouTube or, Twitter or whatever. Again, you've got the last word, my friend.
All right, I appreciate it. No, I mean mainly I just want to encourage people to check out my content, and if they like what I have to say and are interested in the things I'm talking about, then feel free to subscribe, like, and share the information. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be working on putting out more content. Some of my content might seem like from an outside standpoint that it's all over the place, but I really feel like they are all interconnected and they all work together. And I do try to keep them, for the most part, subject-wise separated. So if I'm talking about something crypto-related, generally it stays on topic to crypto. If it's something it's anarchy-related, generally it stays on topic. So, you can just look at the headers of the videos to figure out if
Okay.
it's something that you like. So I encourage people to check that out. And I always encourage people to make sure you're doing your own research.
Yeah.
That you use your critical thinking. That
Yeah.
you think for yourself, and that you be an individual. That you use the brain that you were blessed with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I like what you said 15 or 20 minutes ago, and I'll tell you why I liked it. When you said, when you wake up, have an attitude of gratitude. That's actually a phrase. My in-laws live in town here, and they're older, and they're in an assisted living facility, and my father-in-law's all of 92, and my mother-in-law's 87, and they still have their minds somewhat, a little bit of dementia, but we always tell them when we see them, and I've got, adult children in town that are married and stuff, but when we go over there, that's the phrase that we use with them, that you have to have an attitude of gratitude. So when you said that, I immediately thought of my in-laws. I'm like, man, that's a great thing to have in your back pocket, attitude of gratitude.
I mean, you'd be surprised when you start your day off with a positive tone, how that energy affects you all the way around. So
Yeah.
I definitely encourage people, be the change by practicing change. It's just the only way that we can make this world a better place.
No,
Is
that's
by you
awesome.
and me being that change.
Yeah. All right, everybody, you've heard it from Rice Crypto. He had the last word. I'm going to put all his contact information below concerning his content. Take a look at it. And yeah, Rice, there you go, brother. Thanks so much. You're awesome.
Thank you.
All right, see you later.
Appreciate it, bro.
Okay, bye bye.